What's up, everyone? How's it going? We are live. Sorry I was getting all the links sent out. Still haven't figured out how to multitask that and make all that work. But here we are, just waiting for the game to restart. Someone brought the wrong deck, a thing that does happen on Magic Online every once in a while. What's up, Jeremy? What's up, Joe Ken? You hope we get cool Viking Valkyrie-style angels with Kaldheim? Yeah, that'd be sweet. I'd be on board for that. Hopefully it comes along with a lot of power metal. Promicon. Promicon sounds awful. Promicon is a very rude commander. I want to attack where I want to attack. Looks like we won the die roll. That's good news. That's a pretty good opening hand. Mana ramp, Vampiric tutor. Yes, please. We'll go ahead and keep. Sweet, relaxing while you get ready for finals. Very nice. Oh, yeah. It's that time of year, isn't it? It is December. It's hard to know. I've been stuck inside all year. It all kind of seems the same. Also, I live in Texas, so there aren't really seasons. All right, brings it to our turn one. There's a War Room. Let's play the Arid Mesa. Crack the Arid Mesa. Get Scrubland. Play the Soul Ring, and we'll pass like that. Thinking of building Stax with Liesa? You certainly could. White obviously has a lot of stacks. Opposition Agent is in this deck. Be careful, opponents. We are running that today. So what I did is I took the deck list from Jared that I played earlier in the week on Monday, and I changed, I don't know, probably about 10 cards, maybe 12 cards or so. Changed a few cards in the deck. It's still pretty similar, but kind of put my own touch on it a little bit. And that's what we're playing today. So we are playing Liesa. You definitely could go on a Stax plan with it. White-black Stax seems very reasonable. Honestly, anything is better than mono-white Stax, because with mono-white Stax, they stacks the game, but they don't kill you with any kind of speed. It still takes a really long time, at least with black. They can just slam the Exquisite Blood combo and, get the game over with, because at that point, once there's multiple Stax pieces in play, it's usually a pretty bad time. So just end the game, please. Let's start a new one. That brings us back to our turn. Soul Ring for our opponent. There's a Nykthos. Oh, what are we doing? Probably should have Vampiric tutored on the upkeep, but that's okay. Maybe we just play this War Room. Draw with the War Room. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Why not? Start using these new cards. Also, maybe I should have played a colored land. I should have played a colored land. 100%. Well, we're already into this plan, so draw with the War Room. Oops. Probably about the worst of all decisions I could have made right there. That's about how that turn went, but we are on the play with a Soul Ring, so, that'll give our opponents a chance to catch up just a teeny bit from us just, slamming our commander on turn 3 or something like that, so. Finished finals a few weeks ago, painting up some minis for when your D&D campaign resumes. Sounds nice. I'm not so big into the minis and stuff like that, but it probably does help. I've only ever played D&D over Discord because I've only started playing this year, so I don't really know what the in-person experience is like. Am I running Hatred? No, but I absolutely should be. I definitely should be running Hatred. Should probably also be running the Infect one, too. I slammed a Blackblade Reforged into this deck because it's a 5/5 flyer with lifelink. It gets better with a Blackblade Reforged. How am I doing? I'm doing all right today. A little tired, but not as bad as I've been the rest of the week, but got a lot of Magic lined up for this evening, so we've got this live stream right here. We'll only be doing one game today, and in about 2 hours from now, I'll be live streaming with Austin from Commander 99 on Tabletop, so we'll be doing Paper Magic. And I'll give you guys the link to that when that time comes. Steel Overseer for our opponent. Oh, yeah, so I was talking with Sean about this deck. We'll talk about that deck in a moment. Let's take our turn here. There's a Signet. That'll get us caught up on the colored mana that we need to be getting caught up on. Play this Plains. Play this Signet. We can draw with the War Room again? Let's do it. Why not? Just keep drawing with this War Room. That's the only thing we're going to do today. I'm going to set a stop for the upkeep so that I remember to Vampiric Tutor this time, because I've forgotten to do that a few times now. Oh, that's an Ether Flux Reservoir. Watch out for that. Watch out for that. Ban Soul Ring and cheap tutors? It sounds simple in theory, but it does make things a lot more complicated. Now, I'm firmly in the ban Vampiric Tutor camp. Vampiric Tutor is way too good. On turn 1, it's a Soul Ring or a Mana Crypt. At any point after that, it's a win condition or the board wipe that they so badly need. I think black could come down just a little bit. Like, Demonic Tutor, fine. It's sorcery speed. You can react to it a little bit. Vampiric Tutor, really hard to react to because it's end step, instant speed, and that's the thing. No love for the Vampiric Tutor here. The fast mana is way more complicated because of green and all the ramping that green can do. Like, every other color would just get demolished by, Mana Dork into Selvala. Green deck wins turn 3. You prefer D&D in person? It's a little more social. Not worried about the mics and stuff. Yeah, I think a big thing too is just like being able to see someone's like face and body language. Either one, to like not try to talk while they're talking, but two, just for like, the fun aspect of it, of like if they're I'm a little bit expressive. That's kind of like what I do. So when I'm saying things, I'm a little dramatic about it. And I think that creates a little bit more of an experience. So I don't know. Yeah, let's play this Vampiric Tutor like we should do. That'll get us a white and a black, and that can get us all into our commander. I want to get to the card draw. Yeah, okay. I know what I want to do. We are going to get, where'd I put it? This Mask of Memory, because it's Mask of Memory, and I love Mask of Memory. And I'm very curious to try it with this commander. I think it's going to be very good. Especially given the circumstances of our early Soul Ring and Signet here. But play this Plains. Play our commander. Leave up a white for the swords. Ishai getting bigger. Yeah, Ishai's pretty good. Oh yeah, we saw some of this deck the other day. I don't know if you guys have seen that video yet. I definitely filmed it yesterday, though, with Kithron's Ishai Krark deck. That'll be coming to you guys very soon. I filmed like 3 or 4 videos yesterday, and I need to get them all edited. I've got one edited. I've got a Rexiel deck lined up for tomorrow. I was going to put it out today, but I wanted to get this live stream going since got some time schedules to adhere to today. But yeah, we're going to have a new video tomorrow. The weird Saturday release, and that will be Rexiel the Risen Deep. But one of the games I filmed yesterday does have this Krark Ishai thing. It's going to be a Spellslinger deck, and I think they're still trying to get the balance right in the deck. Yeah, there's the Sentinel Tower. So, you know who's really good against that? Liesa. Let's read our commander, by the way. Not ADD at all. So 5 mana, 5/5. Rather than pay 2 for each previous time you've cast it, you may pay... It's not a may. I said that wrong last time. Pay 2 life that many times. So instead of your commander tax, you pay 2 life, and it's not an option. You must do it. So if you're at 2 life, you cannot cast your commander. But it does have flying and lifelink, and says whenever a player casts a spell, they lose 2 life. That is going to be pretty good against Ishai and Krark, trying to cast a lot of cheap spells and potentially get them copied with Krark. Oh, mana crypt. Lose 2 life. Yeah. Happy Friday, Eric. Will I be playing Calcian anytime soon? It's been on my mind. People have been asking me about it. Just time. It all takes time to film and edit and build the decks and do everything. So, in a perfect world, yeah, you could just like crank out. The thing that I've been fighting right now is that like the number of videos that I have to make in a given time, like on average, I make like 15, 16 videos a month. And you know, that means that you can't just you can't build every deck under the sun, right? You're always going to miss some stuff because there's only so many things I can do in a month. The live streams have helped a little bit. I can kind of like sprinkle in some other random things and kind of just like react to the moment of like, you know, this week everyone was really interested in the Liesa deck, so I thought we'd run it back today. A lot of people excited about it, so, you know, the live streams do give me a little bit of ability to be just a bit more agile in what decks I'm playing. So, you know, maybe at some point we'll see Calcian. It's definitely one that I've been thinking about. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Blackblade makes everything better? Yes, it does. Also makes commander damage always an option? Yep, that too. And I mean, it's a flyer, right? Like, flying's so good. Brings back to our turn. Gave, Guru of Spores coming into play. We draw a land. We might hang on to that for the Mask of Memory for the looting. Play Mask of Memory. Triggers the 2 things. Equip the Mask of Memory. We'll probably swing into this Gave deck because they're usually pretty good. That's usually a pretty good deck. Swing over to Mugen. Hold my breath, hope the damage gets through. There it is. Mask of Memory trigger. Let's get down to the looting. We draw a Griffinary. Yeah. Sweet. Ooh, an opposition agent. Nasty card. Discard the planes. Let's play the Nykthos. How much mana does that give us? That's 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah, that gives us exactly enough. Oh, yeah, I think opponents are about to get wrecked. Let's play the Griffinary. And we'll sit on this opposition agent for the opportune moment to completely mess up our opponents and steal their tutor. I feel like I should tell them. These are Patreons we're playing today, and this card is super mean. Super, super mean. Haven't actually played it yet. Haven't actually seen it yet either. But, well, it's that time. It is that time. Fetch land on the stack. Here comes the opposition agent. Sorry, friend. Surprise! It's an opposition agent. Should read this again. I haven't actually seen it yet. Flash. You control your opponents while they search their libraries. While an opponent is searching their library, they exile each card they find. You may play those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and you may spend mana as though or any color to cast them. Yep, that's pretty good. I will do them a favor, and do they have a plains? I'll just take a plains. We could steal like a Tundra or something, but I already feel bad enough for playing opposition agent. It was in the original deck list. I didn't add it, and I was lazy enough to not take it out. So there's an opposition agent. Oop, that's an Impact Tremors. Pretty good card. Probably going to help with the combos. This should definitely get us attacked by an Ishai, though. That should 100% happen. There comes Krark. Grim Gamer asks, how do I go about suggesting a deck idea or deck list to possibly see it played? Realistically, you will need to be an Angel tier Patreon. In years past, I could like occasionally do stuff that randomly got suggested, but now I'm just like, I have so many decks to work on all of the time that I just don't have time to like take random suggestions. So you'll need to be an Angel tier Patreon if that's something that you're really interested in doing. With the rare exception of you can suggest something that I was already going to do anyway, and then it'll get played. Jared says, really enjoying the content, makes the commute to Portland much more entertaining. Thank you, and you're welcome. I appreciate you tuning in. More Rexy? Yay? I don't know what we're talking about. What are we talking about? Oh, Rexiel? Yeah. I guess I'm a little behind in the comments. Sentinel Tower, Mana Crypt. Things happening. We will want to gain some life to get more blockers for this Ishai. It's kind of scary. Kind of scary. Yep, Sean saying Ishai is going to make me pay. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. What's the level of salt on Opposition Agent? Extremely high. Like, we just stole our opponent's fetch. You ever stifle someone's fetch? It's that level of salt. Yeah, I think that's an Enlightened Tutor. He does not want to cast that right now. There is still an Opposition Agent in play. Yeah, the salt level on Opposition Agent, easily 11, maybe 12 out of 10. Cool. We get ourselves an artifact. What are we getting? Wormcoil looks fun. Not that we necessarily need it, but it just looks fun. Crashing Drawbridge, Combustible. Ooh. Aggravated Assault? No. We should have took the red land. Should have taken the red land. Oh. Maybe we can choose something kind of interesting. Get a good look at his deck. Planar Bridge. Planar Bridge is fun. Is there anything in our deck worth planar? Yeah, there probably is. Yeah, might as well take an old classic, though. Let's get the Sword of Feast and Famine. This is Commander Replay, after all, so Sword of Feast and Famine it's gonna be. Opponent taps the Steel Overseer, puts some counters on their stuff. They do have an 8/8 with Reach, Trample, and Protection from Multicolored. That means that Liesa will not be going in that direction unless we're interested in shooting it. Opposition Agent is a weird name for what is essentially a thief card. Yeah, I'll buy into that. I don't feel like the name conveys just how savage it is. It is very savage. They could have called it like Salt Mining Agent because it is a salt-inducing card. We do have a swords. We have one swords. One swords is not enough for like multiple big creatures in play, so we'll want to be careful about that. The annoying part about Opposition Agent is that it stops cards like Cultivate and Evolving Wilds just as much as Natural Order and Demonic Tutor. Agree. So, like, if you were sitting down at a casual table and, a very, let's say tame green deck was at the table. Ooh, that's an Earthcraft. That's bad. Turn off auto yields. I think that, goes infinite or something, doesn't it? We are going to want to swords this Gave, I think. Did we tap out all our mana? Oh, we tapped out all our mana. Are we dead? How does this work? What happens now? Are we just dead? Are we dead? Yeah, so anyway, if someone's playing like a tame green deck and they're just trying to cultivate and you drop an Opposition Agent, that's the type of thing that'll probably take them out of the game. Like, the reason they're playing Opposition Agent, ooh, I'm sure I don't like this Butcher Ghoul. He says we're just dead. All right, looks like we're going to have time for a second game. Let me see if I understand this right. I haven't played Gave in forever. Remove ones. There's a damage mode on here or something. Oh, he says we get to untap. All right. Well, if we get to untap, then... Not time for game 2 just yet. Yeah, so it is an answer to, like, let's say, like, Boundless Realms or Green Deck's trying to find many lands, Scapeshift, stuff like that, which totally fine with. We're going to have 6. We don't have anything to do. But it also, you know what the problem is? The problem isn't that it stops the tutor, it's that it also gives you the card. If it just stopped the tutor, that would make it like a really good Shadow of Doubt. And I think I'd be okay with that. Like, it would be annoying and it would suck when it gets you, but the fact that it gives them the card is insane. We need to get to 50 life and blast them with the Aetherflux Reservoir. Also, we've got Teferi's protection, so, like, I guess, yeah, we're not out of it yet. We may end up in an awkward situation, though, where we have to play second game. I was hoping to only play one game just because I have the other stream in an hour and a half, and an hour and a half is like a weird amount of time. It means you got to play really quick in the second game, so we'll see how this goes. But yeah, the agent is definitely a bit too good. If it didn't give them the card, I think it would be annoying and good, but not overpowered and backbreaking like it is now. I haven't really played a lot of CEDH since it's come out, but I assume that just you're going to run into 4 of these at every table, and I think it's probably just a battle of, like, who can kill the opposition agent, then reanimate the opposition agent, and, like, steal everyone's tutors, and I don't know. I think they went a bridge too far. I think they went a little bit too far. We got a 6/6 coming our direction. Does opposition agent need to stay in play for us to cast those cards? As long as they remain exiled. Interesting. Ooh, down 24 is going to be pretty hard. We should probably block. We should probably block just in case. I don't know if this is a test. Does this thing, like, go infinite and do wild stuff if... Does anyone know how multiple opposition agents work? My guess. I am not a judge. I'm not great with this sort of stuff. I think it goes to timestamp. I think it goes to the one that came in play the most recent. I think. But again, I'm not a judge, and that's, like, not a set of... That's not a part of the rules I'm really good with. I'm a Magic Online player, and those kind of things just happen for me, and I usually don't have to think about them. Play the Plains. Play Sword of Feast and Famine. Bunch of things trigger. Ding ourselves for 2 more. Equip the Sword of Feast and Famine. Swing in with Liesa. Let's keep working on the player with the infinite combo already in play. Seems like a good idea. Sword of Feast and Famine, a Mask of Memory trigger. Got to stay on brand with this Liesa deck, so, you know, that's what we're doing here today. Got a brand to uphold. Mask of Memory and Feast and Famine. Lands on tap. Mask of Memory trigger. What are we discarding? There's a land. Yeah, discard the plains. I mean, I guess we can just Swords the Thing. That should stop the nonsense. That would give him... He'd probably have to go through the steps of making infinite things, though. So, like, I'd prefer to just blast him in the face with Aetherflux Reservoir and not have to deal with it. Is there a way to do that before his turn unfolds? Probably not. I'm going to Swords it now. Does he just recast? I think he probably just recasts it on his turn. Didn't think about that. Probably should have got this Aetherflux Reservoir first also. Whoops. He just lets it go. Perfect. Don't have to sit through that for an hour. Get the Aetherflux Reservoir like we should have already done. Lose a bit more to life. How much white mana? That's 2, 3. Our devotion to white is 3. That's mana neutral. Not ideal. I'm just going to play the Resplendent Angel for the life gain off of Aetherflux Reservoir. I think that's our 4th spell. Up to 33. Yep. Gives us a blocker. We'll get a second one off the Griffin. We get get another one off the Resplendent Angel. Fantastic. Love it. Love it. Get ourselves some flyers. He's not infinite yet. Needs cost reduction or Ashnods plus a sack payoff. Okay. Yeah, that seems fair. It's not far away, though. Right now, I am totally digging this kind of aggressive style of play with Mask of Memory, Sword of Feast and Famine. I didn't put Feast and Famine in the deck just because I put it in every deck. But I think it's going to be really good in this deck. 5 mana, 5/5 flyer with lifelink. Now you're putting Feast and Famine on it. Seems really good. Why not hold up the protection? I'm not worried about dying this turn with Gave gone. Also, to be completely honest, like checking on chat and everything else, I'm not paying as close attention as I should be. So if we die, that will be why. Because we didn't leave up protection. Next turn, though. Next turn, you can believe we're going to be leaving up Teferi's protection. That can be a hard thing to time out, too. It's like, can you get away with not leaving the protection up for a turn? You know, around turn 6, many times you can, but the later the turn count, the less likely that is. But the later the turn count, the more mana that you should have if things have been going well. So, you know, theoretically, you can then make your plays and then leave up Teferis. But yeah, around turn 6, turn 7, it's that question of, am I going to die or lose all my stuff if I don't leave mana up for this? And it's always a possibility. Definitely a possibility. That's a 1919 Ishai coming in. Let's throw this 2/2 in front of it. Eats the 2/2, passes the turn, Mana Crypt flip. Yeah, there's definitely a chance they could just recast Gave and then have the piece that they need, and that will kill us. That would be unfortunate. That would be bad. That's me. That would be me playing a little bit fast and loose, but these things do happen. White needs all the help it can get. I struggle with not putting Feast and Famine in every deck also. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like, in my opinion, it's the best mana doubler because with Cage Sun and Gauntlet of Power, you need to wait to untap with those, where Feast and Famine gets you the untap right away. So you don't have to wait an entire turn to start getting that payoff. Now, they do operate a little bit differently. Like Cage Sun and the other one, they're good if you need like 20 mana in a turn all at once. Feast and Famine doesn't necessarily do that. It'll give you, your mana. It'll give you your mana count twice, which sometimes it matters, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on what you're trying to do. But the fact that it untaps the lands right away gives you that immediate benefit, and like black and green are two of the best and most common colors at a commander table. So it's just so incredibly relevant. Where'd the Undying Creature go, by the way? It's in his graveyard, but I didn't see how it got there. It was chatting or something. That's Rebecca coming into play. I don't think I finished introducing opponents. I should probably do that. So this is Milk and Cheese 1, Sean piloting Rebecca and Alina. And we've been talking about this deck in chat a little bit. I think he's played it on camera once or twice already. If not, that game's filmed and it'll be coming soon. And basically, it's turned into just like an artifact creature deck because Rebecca gives artifacts protections from each CMC worth of artifacts you control. In this moment, 0, 2, 3, and 5 seems pretty good. Going to make blocking pretty difficult. So, yeah, and then you just use Alina. Oops, that's not the button I wanted to press. You use Alina to make a bunch of mana after slamming a bunch of artifact creatures. And there's some cool tricks you can get into. We kind of stumbled onto with Phyrexian Dreadnought, and I don't think he's running it yet, but what's the 3 mana one at a Cold Snap? Whatever that one's called. Basically all the tricks that mono green Selvala uses. Like, I think you can use a lot of that stuff if they're colorless and artifacts, and make a lot of mana that way, and seems like it should be pretty cool. It's one that I'm definitely interested in. Just need to find some time to get around to it. Ishai doesn't care about the Gave player with the combo on board. I mean, they're focusing us. They're eating our tokens, which has some value, but yeah, I don't know, in this kind of setting, it's sort of like, do you just take the player out? It's sort of the question of like, how spiky are you playing? And generally the group that we have of Patreons that play are not super spiky. So they generally try to give everyone the opportunity to play the game a little bit, even though I don't think our deck is necessarily deserving of that, and this Gave deck might not be either. I will notice this like weird mismatch of kind of player personality versus the decks that we're playing, because like we've had some games where we try to play CEDH, and if you don't pilot a CEDH deck like a CEDH player would, you can kind of get into a weird space because your threat assessment is different, and you need to not care about letting your opponents like not play the game. Essentially, the most efficient way to like win CEDH is don't let your opponents play the game. But that kind of feels bad in a casual setting. So, yeah. Let's get this Angelic Accord into play. This seems pretty cool. Guess we'll use the Ancient Tomb. Maybe we didn't have to use the Ancient Tomb. Probably didn't have to. Aetherflux, Liesa, a bunch of things trigger. Phyrexian Soul Gorger, that's the one. That's the one at a Cold Snap. Pretty sure I still have one in a binder somewhere. It's the salt remaining from the opposition agent and fetch slap. Yeah, that's also totally fair. We totally deserve that. What else are we doing? Do we have enough for this Krav? I think we do. We do that. How much white do we have? We should be mana positive on white off of this Nykthos. Yeah, there's 6 white. Perfect. Get Krav. Couple floating. Do some more stuff. Partner with ourselves. Go find Regna. Grab Regna. Regna to the hand. Go to combat. Do we have lethal on them? 14? Yes, we do. Sorry, Mugen. I guess that's what we're doing. I guess we're sending in lethal. I guess there's no one coming. Doc says it's possible Ishai thinks he can just shut out Gave. Potentially. Or he's just waiting for us to do it. Like so. Mask of Memory, Feast and Famine trigger. Mask trigger. Let's see what we get. Land and a Dark Ritual. I don't think we need the Dark Ritual that much, so get rid of it. Good for the early game, less good for right now. Already played a land, it looks like. Yeah, let's play the Regna. Make some White Devotion. Trigger Aetherflux. Ishai. Yep, all the things. All the things. 36. We have already partnered. No need to do it again. Looks like we can draw with the War Room. We'll draw a card. It's a Fumigate, and we'll pass like that. A bunch of triggers for us at the end step. Angelic Accord, Resplendent Angel, Griffin Airy, and Regna. Yeah, this is pretty cool. This is all feeling really good. We have a giant board of creatures. It's pretty fantastic. The best way to win a CEDH game is to have win game right after someone tries to win the game. Yeah, that's true. So, you know, the first player tries to win and then they eat all the counter spells and removal and stuff. And then you just win right after that. Thankfully Flash Hulk is gone because that used to all happen on the stack. Now it's at least like that player has to untap. Something just feels really terrible about like, I have my win condition on the stack. Cool, I'll Flash Hulk over it and just win over your win condition. Pretty nasty. Gonna Sentinel Tower one of our tokens? Sure. Down it goes. Opposition agent messes up the partner with cards if they're in the deck and not in the command zone. That it does. That it does. Messes up a lot of things. Messes up a lot of things. Too good. They made it too good. Also, they probably should have made it a white card. I've been kind of thinking for a while, like when I can't sleep at night, I think about how to fix white as a color. And this has been going on for the better part of 2 years. Periodically, you'll see me get into some really in-depth discussions on Twitter about that. You can follow me on Twitter if you like. Twitter.com/CommanderReplay. But yeah, I've been thinking about like how to fix white for quite a while. And a white Shadow of Doubt would be pretty good. One of the problems with Aven Mind Sensor is that it's 3 mana. It also doesn't completely stop them from tutoring. Like occasionally they still find something, and it's annoying when that happens. So yeah, I think the biggest problem with Aven Mind Sensor is just that like it needs to be 2 mana. If it were 2 mana, it would be much more in a place where it really needs to be. And then the problem with what's the other one? The cat. I can't think of the cat's name right now, but it's surprisingly easy for them to get the mana they need to activate the ability on the cat to shut that ability off. So I've run into problems with that too. So like, yeah, I've been thinking about just like a white Shadow it out, just instant speed. The draw replaces itself, and it'd be pretty good for the higher powers of play, especially like CEDH type stuff, but Also for that green deck that just wants tutor for Craterhoof. Leonin Arbiter, that's the one. Should probably make a Twitter. You know, if you don't need to, don't worry about it. I have one because I'm a creator and it's a good way for people to communicate with me. But if I wasn't a creator, I probably wouldn't have a Twitter. Defiant Strike. Sentinel Tower getting pumped up. Are they just going to shoot us in the face? 3 spells. Okay, yeah. Kith indeed does have a big old boy. It is a 27. No trample yet. Trample's the one they're missing. Some sort of evasion. Unblockable. I've been thinking about making an Ishai deck that's just like protect Ishai, make it unblockable. Let the other players at the table kind of do the heavy lifting of like, I'm going to cast all the spells and make it get huge. Shelter. Oh, well, there's the protection that we talked about, or the evasion. Excuse me. Well, looks like we'll be using the Teferi's protection. Hope he doesn't have the counter for it. White's biggest issue is that the cards you need to compete in paper are so much more expensive than the green, blue, and black counterparts. The simple card draw ramp mana fix cards like land tax, Mangara, partially yes, partially no. So like, yes, the cost does matter. There is only one land tax, there is only one Mangara, and your next best options for Mangara, there isn't one. There is not another Mangara. For land tax, you're looking at like Tithe, which is still $20, and Gift of Estates, which is it's about $250, but is significantly less good than land tax. But even then, so like we play on Magic Online. Magic Online is sort of a money doesn't matter environment because most of the cards are pretty cheap, and when you kind of remove that price aspect from it, the green deck just crushes you. Like the green cards are just so much better than what you're doing. So yes, the cost does matter. Like having to put Feast and Famine in every deck in paper is horrendous, and having to have a Steel Shaper's Gift and a Stoneforge Mystic to go find it, that's a good way to get rid of $100. Like, that's not great when you consider that all the green card draw, most of it's like between $3 and $10, so it's not nearly as expensive. So the cost does matter, but in a vacuum where the price doesn't matter that much, the green cards are still just more powerful, generally speaking. Because there's also just like a ton of redundancy in green. You could get rid of like the 5 best card draw and the 5 best ramp cards in green, and it still wouldn't matter because they have so many options for other ramp and other card draw that it would still be insanely good. Oath of Lieges, yeah, Oath of Lieges is a card. It's not my favorite. I don't like giving other opponents lands. My motto is sort of this, and like when EDH was like more casual and more friendly, sure, Oath of Lieges. Now that it's largely shifted away from that, and it's kind of like, if you give someone resources, they will abuse them and just take over the game, which is kind of an issue. But my thing is like, I build my decks with a lot of lands and a lot of mana production, and I don't want to reward you for not running enough lands and not running enough mana production. My way to get ahead is that I devoted 37 lands and like 15 pieces of ramp as card slots in my deck. If you went like 36 lands and like 8 pieces of ramp, sure, you're not going to ramp sometimes. Like you're not going to find it early in the game. And, for me, I don't know. It's just like, it's one of those things that I have. It's just, I don't like giving my opponents resources like that, and I don't want to reward them and kind of like give them an out for not having enough lands. Now in a more casual setting, that's fine, right? Like if everyone's pulling out like banding tribal, sure. Group hug, totally legit. But if it's like, hey, let me show you how this Corvald or this Tulane deck works. My friend had a Tulane deck that like ran 29 lands and like, I don't know, 40 mana dorks, he would get stuck on 1 or 2 lands for like most of a game, but because all of the mana dorks, he would still win that game because by turn 6 he would still just outproduce everyone at the table mana wise. So we're firing off that Teferi's protection so we don't die to the giant Ishai that's attacking us, and we'll peace out down to 15 after all the stuff resolves. Liesa burning our own life a little bit. Probably need a duelist heritage for the double strike. Yeah, green, Joe Ken talking about it a little bit, that like green has a ton of second string stuff that's not as good as the top notch stuff, but still fills the role. If you can't afford, or they banned Craterhoof for some reason, it's just not available to you for one reason or another, you still have Endray's Forerunners and Decimator of the Provinces, a million overrun effects. What is that other one? Like Stonehoof Chieftain, there's Ibex something or other. You have like so many secondary options to go to that are all pretty inexpensive. With white, after Mangara, there is no card after Mangara. That's the only one. So yeah, that's definitely a thing. But I think the two things I'm thinking about a lot lately too, when it comes to white, especially compared to green, is like, now that we're in the Elder Gargaroth era of Magic, Elder Gargaroth kind of does everything. It's card draw, it makes additional bodies, it blocks flyer, like it just does everything. And they need the white cards to kind of get to that place too, where like there are a lot of good white cards out there, but a lot of them are still much more narrow than what Elder Gargaroth does. So, that's kind of the next step. Now, when I look at something like Chroma's Will is a step in that direction. It's protection and it's a finisher. It does a lot. It gives you a lot of keywords. So, like, that's an immensely powerful Magic card with, like, more than one use. Teferi's Protection, another one of those cards that just, like, it has more than one use. It's protection for your stuff. It's a fog. It's protection for your face. If you need to, like, protect your graveyard from getting exiled, does all that kind of stuff. So, sure, there's a couple of them, but the era of design now is like this one card that just does everything. And I think white doesn't have those in creatures so much. Like, I think it gets it on a couple cool spells like Teferi's, like we talked about, and probably one or two other places. But right now green has it on the creatures, and having it on a creature means that like you're probably losing because there's lethal power on the board. Sword of the Animist, didn't need that one so much. We got some stuff in play. That one's reach and trample. Oh yeah, that protection from multicolored. That one's gonna kill us. That one is gonna kill us. Well, I guess we just attack Kithron. Yeah, let's get the Sword of the Animist. Be a professional. Not use the Soul Ring. Save that mana for afterwards. Ishai, Liesa, Aetherflux. I guess we have a lot of tokens too. That is also a thing. Put this on there. Let's do some attacking. Oh, we can pump this. What's this do? It gets +2/+2 in lifelink. That's interesting. Send this to Kithron. That's 8. That's 12. That's 14, and then we'll send the rest over this way. Ground creature, no good. That's a flyer. Flyer gets eaten. Don't want that to happen. Guess we can use one of these. Let's do that. Sword of the Animist will trigger. Animist trigger. Get a Plains. We do have a Maria in the deck. We'll try to work toward it, but I think we've discarded too many. We'll see what happens. Then activate Nykthos. Burn the life. Get 7 white mana. Actually, no. Resplendent's not attacking. We forgot to attack with Resplendent. Whoops. Call that a whoopsie. I guess we just draw with this then. These card draw lands are so good when you have a Sword of Feast and Famine. Like, I can't say enough about these things. If you can untap your lands, that value is ridiculous. Gonna eat one of our creatures. Yep. Feast and Famine, Mask of Memory. Discard, especially the Pain Land. Pain Land seems bad. We untap. Activate Nykthos. Play the Plains. Activate War Room. Oh, that's a Demonic Tutor. Can we do the thing? Demonic Tutor. See if we can get one of our combos. What do we got? Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. Sounds like a plan. Let's do that one. Do we not have enough black mana? Oh, we have this talisman. Thank God. Thank God. Liesa, Etherflux. Man, Liesa will burn a lot of your own life. Careful with that. There's black. There's black. Get the Sanguine Bond. Suppose we could have gone like Bowl Citadel, but we are kind of low on life. Play the Souls Warden. Oh, you want what we could have did? We could have just cast the Fumigate right now. I think that would have ended it. Sanguine Bond trigger. Opponent's down to 8. Oh, we'll get a bunch of creatures at the end step. Yeah, okay, this will do it. This works. This works. A bunch of triggers. Oh, this won't actually finish it, though. Getting some rules clarification on the Etherflux situation. Oh, I think we can... We haven't... No, we're all out of black mana. Should have got more black mana. Mana crit flip. He says if he fails to flip, he's driving down to Austin. He lost the flip. Oh, looks like I'm going to have a visitor in about 3 hours because it's about 3 hours from DFW to Austin. All right. You know, we have an hour left. That's pretty awkward. We're going to have to make this a quick game. We'll see if we can make it work. Do my best for you guys. Probably have to be about a 45-minute game just because, like, Got to set up and stuff too. My desk is a mess, although maybe I can clean a little while I talk, but... And Magic Online's taking a sweet little time. Gotta love it when it does that. Need the game to be over in 45 minutes, I'm telling them. Bring something hard. Sean's upset that he lost every flip on Mana Crypt. That will happen sometimes. And while we're waiting for people to join, let's see. We're right there. He's back in, and we can get caught up on chat. That is what we can do. That last turn, things got intense. Needed to stay focused. Nate pointing out that white is a very powerful support color. Abzan, Bant, Mardu, all very good with white. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I mean, like Enlightened Tutor, Swords, Land Tax, all the 1-mana stuff, all really good in multicolor decks. Jack says, one upside of white is effective artifact and enchantment removal. Yeah, and it's not that white is nothing, right? When I play, I don't know, let's say a mono black deck or something, or like Rakdos, I get really nervous that like I don't have protection spells in my disposal. I play so much white that I'm used to having some kind of protection spell in the deck, and hiding behind Teferi's protection, Faith Shield, Boros Charm, all that sort of stuff. And it's a weird feeling to me like when I play and just all of my permanents are out there and completely exposed. And if people want to blow them up, they can feel free to do so. So, you know, I've grown accustomed to the white style of play, but that's a 2 board wipe hand. That could work, but being that we're on kind of a time crunch, board wipes slow the game down, so board wipes and nothing else isn't exactly where I want to be. This hand's a little more proactive. Got a fan, MTG chat. Say, hey, what's up? You're on live stream. Say hi. Doc's saying that white has basically all the best removal. Yeah, white removal is fantastic. Austere Command is glorious. Hour of Revelation is an amazing card. Let's keep this one. Opponent wants to send me their Aurelia, not opponent. Supporter wants to send me their Aurelia deck. commanderreplay@gmail.com if you guys ever need to email me for something. Brings it to our turn 1. Turn off that stop. Grim Gamer says, I've swayed my playgroup to see the green Simic and Sultai power creep, and thankfully games have been less one-sided, less solitaire, more up and down kind of fun. Yeah, that can happen. White is amazing at staxing out the game. Kind of sad when they're printing powerful white cards that make the game no fun. Draneth, Magistrate. Yeah, okay. So last night, I listened to a podcast. Oh, what was the name of it? I'm going to go dig it out on Twitter. Give me a moment. It was a podcast I've never listened to before. I'm not multitasking at all. Play this land. Crack this land. Go get a land. Nothing to do on turn 1. Where's Godless Shrine? Godless Shrine. Tapped. Not paying the life. Cool. Past that, I'm going to find this podcast for you guys. They had Ari Nie on, the white representative on the Council of Colors, and they were talking about all things white, so all this stuff's been on my brain a lot. And let's see here. Give me a moment. I am a-searching. Name of the podcast is Commander Theory, and give me just one moment. Get this link right here, if I can. I don't know how to get it not on Twitter. I'm going to send you guys the Twitter link, so from there, you'll have to figure it out, but... Okay, there's the Twitter link. That should link to the podcast. Anyway, so they talked about all things white, and there's a lot of good stuff in there, and like a lot of points that like, whose turn is it? It's our turn. Okay, it is our turn. Let's play this Plains Soul Warden or Grand Abolisher first. Let's just go Grand Abolisher. Be mana efficient. I don't think the one land is gonna matter. The one life is gonna matter so much. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. It doesn't until it does. Anyway, I listened to that podcast last night, and, they talked about a lot of things, and... Oh, we got a super chat! Ante, $5. Ante, you rock. I appreciate you. Hey, we got Austin in the house. What up, Austin? Yeah, anyway, so Commander Theory, they were talking to him, and... I'll try to keep my train of thought here. Oh, yeah, so they're talking about just, like, things that are specific to white, and Stax is one of them, and he said that, like, many people at points have suggested that, like, there could be more counterspells in white. Maybe, like, a mana leak, some of the, like, taxing counterspells. And one of the things he was concerned about was that, let's see if I can, like, kind of paraphrase his words here, is that counterspells happen in blue. People don't like when their stuff gets countered, and he was somewhat worried about that, like, more counterspells might turn the conversation from I don't like playing against blue decks or I don't like playing against counterspell decks to I don't like playing Magic just because my stuff gets countered. And like I'm like, okay, I can kind of see that a little bit. But the part that they didn't get into, which I wish they did, is that, and this is like kind of the follow-up to that, is white in Commander is at its best when your opponents are stacked very hard and can't do anything, which isn't terribly dissimilar from having a bunch of counterspells. Like, white is at its best when you can do nothing. And that's a thing, and it's like, it's hard to dispute that. If you want to stop a green deck, the best way to do it is like Rule of Law, Hushbringer, and like one or two other Stax pieces and Hate Bears. And those aren't, I don't want to have to play that way. Like, I wish that there were other options available there, and there's a few. Like, I know Teshar is a deck, but the number of things that you can do in white that are powerful to keep up with like the average green deck, they're all very Staxy generally. And what I'd like to see is white be able to do like powerful proactive stuff, because locking everyone down under a bunch of stacks isn't fun. Someone asked about black-white stacks earlier, which is why all this stuff's been on my brain and, why all this stuff's coming out. But white-black stacks is, or, mono-white stacks is very slow, and it's the worst. At least if you're facing, like, blue-white stacks or black-white stacks, they're going to kill you quicker once they've kind of locked the game up. Generally, there's, like, a faster win condition because of the extra colors. And, mono white just doesn't have that. I'd like to see mono white get more powerful, proactive stuff. Now, there's been a couple things this year. Heliod is powerful and proactive, and Angel of Destiny is powerful and proactive, though I haven't had a chance to see it as much. Probably belongs in this deck, potentially. So anyway, that's the thing that I would like to see. I'd like to see white get powerful without being more staxy. And, like, I'm totally fine. Sure, more Hate Bears along the way. Totally okay. But, like, if you want to build a powerful deck that doesn't involve just everyone else being miserable, then I'd like that to be an option. I think I missed some chat along the way. See if I can figure out where I was. You missed Ada missed when Zedru was a viable commander. Yeah, it's been a little while. It's a little slow these days. There's an Authority of the Consoles off the top. The thing I am nervous about is that we might miss our 5th land drop and might have some trouble getting to our commander. That wouldn't be great, but we're going to drop down Soul Warden and Authority of the Consoles. Jay Garrett says, Zedru is still good, just not a top power deck. Yeah, it's like a little janky. We'll attack Banana. He's got a 1-1. We'll attack right here, too. Go aggro. Aggro with the black-white deck. Not something you see super often. The new elf that ETBs gives 2 lands to opponents and 3 to caster is great group hug. That still gives some advantage to the caster. I need to see that one more. I saw it on game nights. I haven't seen it really anywhere else since, so I'm not sure how I feel about that card yet. You know, it's another green card that finds lands. Finding lands is just good. The fact that it gives opponents lands, I'm still working out that math. Doc says, Mangara is overhyped. Grab yourself an Immortal Sun or something like a moat. Yeah. Like I said, white's at his bets when you can't do anything. One of those things is attacking on the ground. But yeah, as good as Mangara is, it does eat removal, and you don't always get the benefit from it. That's a problem that I've run into a little bit, and I don't love it. I don't love it. Like, if my choices were between Mangara and a white Harmonize, I'm probably on the white Harmonize because I just want the guaranteed draw without things going wrong. Elder Gargaroth felt like a slap in the face when it was printed in the same set as Baneslayer Angel reprint. Yeah, a little bit. Baneslayer Angel's very good. It's a 6/6 though, right? Baneslayer loses that one? Oh yeah, that is a slap in the face. It's not that, I mean, I guess it's not that they shouldn't be able to answer it. I don't know. It's that question of, like, should they be able to answer a Baneslayer Angel? Should the answer to that Baneslayer Angel be a 5-mana 6/6 that also does everything else under the sun? I don't know. I'd prefer it was just a removal spell, but that's me personally. I played Standard when the original Baneslayer Angel came out, though, and that thing, oh man, blue-white control was nasty. Nasty when that was a thing. And it was just, Baneslayer Angel's insane in Standard. And I think, who was it? In the podcast, I already talked about it. I think LSV had a Baneslayer in his sideboard for, like, Legacy or something like that. Like a bigger format. I forget which one. I'd have to go back and listen. But bigger format where you don't see a lot of Baneslayer. And he had one in the sideboard because it was good against some matchup. And Baneslayer still puts work in. You think narrow cards are fun because restriction breeds creativity? Yeah, the problem with that is that if every card was still narrow, like let's go back to like 2000, people have been posting like random stuff from like Judgment and Onslaught, a lot of which is terrible. All that stuff had drawbacks on it to it. All that stuff had drawbacks on it, which does make it interesting to try and work around. But the problem is that like Elder Gargaroth has no drawbacks. When you have drawbacks, the cards without drawbacks tend to just kind of bubble to the top in Commander because you're talking about such a big format. Oh, I don't think I'm going to like this at all. Wings of Valvalis on Kedis. Kedis is now a 4/4 with flying. So, like, yeah, if it was still years ago and, like, most creatures, especially big ones, had drawbacks on it, yes, I would say that would be interesting and cool and fun and all that stuff. But we've kind of left that era where creatures just do good things now, right? Like, this Cabal has no downside. It just does all good things. When opponents cast stuff, they lose life, we gain life. That's the era that we're in. So, you know. Now, there's a way they could bring drawbacks back. If the upside of the card is so powerful that it makes it worth running with the drawback, that can be interesting. But Angel of Destiny, I guess, is a good card, is a card that kind of looks at that. Like, gives you the opportunity to win the game, but it does shut off just like regular combat damage. So there is a trade-off there, but it's a powerful one. So it's not to say they can't do it. But again, because Commander is such a big format, are we just going to die? The cards without drawbacks just kind of bubble to the top. Is that 12 with double strike flying? Hope it's not. Double the power. No, it's not double strike yet. That's 12 damage to each opponent, though. That's pretty serious. We're luckily we had a lot of life, so we're only down 46. But everyone else just took a beating, and we've got Cabal in play. So if we can get Liesa, casting spells will be extremely painful. We didn't catch that land though, but we did catch the Anguished Unmaking, and this is the very cool metal Anguished Unmaking, thanks to EK. Thank you, EK. What are we doing? We've only got 4 mana. I think we're just sitting on Anguished Unmaking. We can probably turn some stuff sideways though. We'll just keep doing that. Probably gonna have to blow this thing up. Boop, boop. We'll leave back the. I mean, we're not blocking with it, so let's rock and roll. Send that over there. They also need to stop thinking white cards need drawbacks like Seraphic Greatsword. Yeah, I mean, it's a mythic, right? Yeah. I was trying to think about, like, if you wanted to keep the dethrone mechanic on there, what is the upside effect that makes you want to run that card? And even if it was like an extra combat, because mono white doesn't have them, it would be very powerful for mono white. I still don't know if that's good enough, because it's still anti-synergy with white life gain and all that sort of stuff. Honestly, if they just like removed all the text from it and just said, you get an extra combat when a creature attacks, you would have had a very good card. Although in that podcast I talked about, they do talk about waves of aggression, and Ari is not on board for the mono white extra combats, which was super sad. That was super sad when he mentioned all that, because I'm on board for the mono white extra combats, and I think it'd be a very good tool for white. Jay says, White's color identity is so skewed now. It used to be about benefit or punish all. Now it's just life gain and tokens, which isn't always great. Yeah. You know, it just feels like they're more strict on White's part of the color pie than they are with every other color. It feels like the other colors just bleed into things they're not supposed to be doing way more often, and with like no real pushback. Like, I'm happy that with like Opposition Agent and Hull Breacher that there was a lot of discussion around that. And stuff happening. Opponent drops in this Balefire Dragon. Which way is that going? That's a little bit scary. We've got some juicy targets. It's coming our way. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I'm not on board for losing all our stuff, so we're gonna Anguished Unmaking that. And then hope we don't die to this thing. Metal Anguished Unmaking, yeah, rock and roll. Austin asks, am I playing Jagatha tonight? I sure am. I sure am. Tap Creature Tribal, my favorite deck from this year. Jay says black-white is his favorite color pair, has 3 black-white decks. Liesa took over a Cabal as the commander in one of them. Very cool. I haven't played a ton of black and white over the years. I would say that black and white's got better. I used to see, like back before I started the channel, I used to see, who was it? Eiley all the time. And as far as like black-white life gain decks go, Eiley is not the best. Sure, if you get it online, it's cool, but getting it online can be tricky. Maybe that's a matchup thing, because like I was playing Boros almost exclusively at that point, so them trying to be above their starting life total and me just wanting to attack everything under the sun never worked out great for them. So maybe it's just a good matchup thing for me, but I don't know. I was not impressed with what I've seen from Eiley. Kimball, I don't want to say it's like incredible, but it's definitely decent. Like, right, it's punishing our opponents a bit, and the question is, how do you want to finish this game up? If you want to like combo or do whatever, then that can certainly be a thing. Dragon Mantle. Oh yeah, this thing's getting big. This thing is getting big. What's Dragon Mantle give it? Is it just fire breathing? Just fire breathing and draws a card when it comes in. You just tuned in. What did you miss? We've been playing Liesa this evening, and we've been talking about white stuff a lot. I linked a podcast above, the Commander Theory podcast. You should look it up. Ari Nie was on the episode that they released last night, so they were talking all things mono white, and been talking about that a bit too. But yeah, I had a really good showing in game 1 with Liesa. There was a Soul Ring involved, so we just got off to a fast start, but a little more down to earth in this game. Gonna have to grind a little bit more, but there is this Kedis with a whole bunch of things on it that's going to attack us and do a lot of damage. Yep. Chris said, didn't know I was live streaming, and we'll send the Aurelia deck to my email. No, it's totally cool, man. Do not worry about it. James says, the last time white was good was when they introduced equipment to the game, but they did too well and has been punishing it ever since. Yeah. They introduced equipment a little while ago. Is Mirrodin 2004? Is it like, it's like 3 or 4? I wasn't playing then. I didn't start playing again until maybe 2005 or 6 is when I kind of got back into it. That's an austere command. We playing that? What happens if we went artifacts and enchantments? That would get a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, let's go artifacts and enchantments. We only lose the authority of the consoles, so not too bad. Oh wait, we don't have 6 mana. Never mind. Looks like we're not doing that. Oh, where's the lands? Hashtag, where's the lands? I guess we just keep swinging away. Ada says first commander deck was a black-white angels deck. Who was the commander? Was it Selena, whatever her name is? Just curious. Last Resort says, here's a way to balance a white extra combat step. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, there's an additional combat step after this one. Exile the equipped creature at the end of... that wouldn't work. Would it work? If it worked like Breath of Fury, it would kind of go infinite. I've been thinking about it since I did the video last year. It's been like a year since I did the last video, but if you said when equipped creature attacks for the first time each turn, I found that that's like a really hard thing to abuse, because creature attacks for the first time, it gets the trigger, life is good. The things you would have to do to like try and go infinite with that are really difficult and probably require 4 cards. And by the point of you've assembled 4 cards, you probably deserve to win at that point, right? So, I think the equipped creature attacks for the first time each turn, because even if you moved it to another creature that's already attacked, it's already attacked. So, you know, it's a lot of hoop jumping, and by that point, it's pretty safe as a card. So that's the wording I've been thinking about on that, but probably not going to happen because Ari's not in love with that. But, you know, I'll continue to try to get a job at Wizards of the Coast and make it a thing. But until that time, who knows? That's an Open the Vaults, bringing back artifacts and enchantments. Yep. Well, we need to get to the mana to play this austere command. Toxic Deluge time? Probably next turn, if we don't catch land or something. Maybe even if we do catch land. Unknown. Unknown. You know what would be cool? A table playing nothing but Innistrad Angel Sisters, like Gisela, Bruna, Liesa, and that green-white one, Sigarda. Sigarda is the green-white one. Is Liesa from Innistrad? We can probably tell by looking at the picture, can't we? Opponent attacking us? Yeah, I guess we have a lot of life. Anything in this picture that tells us where she's from? The spear is definitely a little bit Innistrad looking. Unknown. Unknown. I don't know the story that well. So, does Liesa exist in the story? It was Selenia. Very cool. Yeah, I think she's the only like real black-white commander for angels. If you wanted your commander to also be an angel, prior to Liesa. Liesa was the sister that Avacyn killed. Yes, that's a question. I don't know. Who knows the answer to that? Confirmed she's from Innistrad. Very cool. Very cool. Kind of weird that they didn't give her a card when you think about it. She's the last angel sister. Sweet. The more I play Gisela, the more I like Gisela. Gisela is such a good card. I wish I kind of like realized it at the time, but yeah, Gisela just does so much. She is the Boros Praetor. Because like even, you know, 5 or 6 years ago when I started playing, when I got really into Boros and all that, you know, I kind of looked at a lot of stuff the same way of like, man, I really wish this drew cards or something. And, you know, you need to play Gisela a little bit to realize that like on its text box, the ability doesn't seem that exciting, but having the damage that comes into you is so incredibly powerful. Damage doubling is like, you know, that's a thing that exists in a number of cards. So like, that's not the most unique part. It does help a lot, but having the damage coming in is really, really good. And I'm surprised that like, as far as I'm aware, there is no white card that is the white half of Gisela, the damage prevention mode. That's like very similar where like Gisela's red half is very much like Furnace of Wrath or Dictate, but still have a foil Gisela? That must be really nice. That was before the card quality went down the toilet also, because, man, I bought the, I got a foil, a Chroma Vision of Ixidor, Ixidron, Ixidor, I think it's Ixidor. And it's dark and just doesn't look good. Like, it just, I don't know. The foils now, I don't like the way they look, and it's not all of them, it's just some of them. I think it's like the specialty ones, whatever they call them. Looks horrendous, and I don't know, I think I paid $7 for it, which not the cheapest thing ever. And yeah, it just looks bad. So I bought a Mox Opal with my store credit that I've been hoarding from all of 2019, and I 100% went for the original printing because the actual paper was just better back then. Yeah, of all of WotC's problems, I feel like the cardstock issue. Cardstock and like the cards looking bad shouldn't be one of them. They have other problems that are like, seem like they could be hard to solve and all that. I'm gonna turn off auto yields right here just to make sure we don't die. I don't actually know what's coming into us yet, but need to be careful. Curiosity, yeah, that's a good one. Cabal, ooh, Cabal taking them all the way down. They're at 11. Our opponents are 11, 12, and 11. While I'm talking away, they're just all losing their life. Love it. Might play Kimball in the future just because I don't have to do anything and opponents just kill themselves. And I can just have a nice conversation with you guys and I can just F6 and not even really pay attention to what's happening. Joe Ken saying non-foils are better than foils in this day and age. Yeah, they kind of are. It depends on the foil. Some of them are fine. Like, I'm not saying all of them, but yeah, I was pretty disappointed that, I got like the premium Achroma and it looks like trash. David says, not a fan of the etch foils. Picture clarity is terrible. Yeah, it kind of is. Like, it really is. This is 14 Commander incoming. Gonna go through this slowly. Make sure they don't kill us. Drop down a last-minute double strike or something. We can Heliod's Intervention to gain... Actually, that doesn't stop the commander, but we can blow up a couple key pieces if we need to. But if we're going to survive this, then I'll just Toxic Deluge. Eric says, I love my bling and shiny cards, but I've really taken a liking to special non-foil printings of things, expeditions, and extended arts. Blazing Shoal, no. All right, so that's going to put it to, what's his power at? Power's at 9. Oh, yeah, that's going to be lethal. We need to blow some stuff up. Okay. Heliod's Intervention. We can blow up 2 things. This will be 3, and it's probably a good one to get rid of. That one's 2. Will that be enough? Yeah, I hope so. So let's go for... Yeah, let's go for these 2. Heliod's Intervention. So good. Another card that does... It has 2 really good modes on it. Nope, can't pay for that. But yeah, this is kind of the era of design that we are in, and I think this is a place for white to still get better. These cards that do more than one thing. This is still going to hurt a lot, though. Yeah, it's going to put us at 15, but it won't just kill us. So how about that? Hey, Austin, if you're still in chat, can you send me the link to your Twitch that we'll be streaming on in about a half hour so I can post it up here in the chat? I don't know if it'll just let you directly post the link or not. Not sure how I set those settings. Opponent drawing a bunch of cards off the Curiosity. Yep. Hey, a 5th land. All right. Play the land. Probably on Toxic Deluge. This thing's just kind of scary. We've kind of run out of tricks for it. Yeah, let's just do that. So I'm going to swing away. We have all of our opponents good and low on life. Man, Kimball is a crazy card. We're at 41, and opponents are at single digits. Opponent goes down to 4. Well, Toxic Deluge, what's the biggest thing? That's a 5. So play Toxic Deluge. I'm going to go 7 life just in case I'm missing something that I'm not aware of on board. Never know when that's going to happen. Can't pay. Board gets blown up. Undying Rage. Back to the hand. Jack says, there's so many good alters of cards about now that WotC is about to start crowdsourcing art under the table. Maybe? I don't know. I do know that... Oh, what's her name? It's going to come to me in a minute. The lady that did the Aurelia altar that, like, Kristen and I use. That art was apparently purchased by Wizards of the Coast at some point. I don't know what capacity they're going to use it in, but that could be an official Aurelia art at some point. The sadness would be if it just ends up on like Arena or something like that. But if it ends up, you know, hopefully as like some sort of paper thing, that would be pretty cool. But yeah, I do like my altars a lot. And that's kind of my thing is like, well, if this Acroma doesn't look good, eventually I can go scrounge up some money and just get an altarist to make an Acroma that is befitting of a new Acroma. Oh, it's Lobane. I don't know what that means. Um, who's the partner of the Ketis deck? Yeah, let's go find out, actually. It is Sakashima. Double the Ketis. Dual Ketis. That's an aggravated assault for opponent. Those are pretty good. I hear those are good. Man, aggravated assault is so good. You want to know what I want? I want another aggravated assault. Just like, I don't know, maybe put it on a creature or something. Put it on a red creature. I just want more ways to combo with kind of Feast and Famine in the Heb and do all that sort of stuff. The Hellkite is not an acceptable answer, by the way. Everyone likes, what's the name of it? Hellkite something. I can't remember now. But the problem is that you need the mana to cast it and the mana to activate it all up front, which is 13 mana, and that's a lot. I don't usually have 13 mana, so. Port Razor is probably the closest we're getting. Yeah, I saw Port Razor in a game not that long ago, and it was very good. It does want you to put a sword or some sort of evasion on it, like it needs a little bit of help, but it's a solid card. It's a very solid card. Oh, it's Rogaku. What up, Rogaku? How's it going? I thought that name looked familiar. While I'm streaming, it's tough to dig into the recesses of everything going on in my brain. A lot of things to keep track of all at once. Jack asks, how am I? Anything planned for the holidays? Nope, nothing planned. My parents are in New York, and I talked to them last night, but yeah, no travel. A little too dangerous at this moment. Also, my parents are like definitely a little more into the high risk category these days, so I don't want the guilt of like bringing coronavirus to them. Oh god, I said the C word. I hope I don't get demonetized. Am I not seeing certain messages? I think I'm seeing everything, but I did miss a bunch in the middle where I had to get caught up because I fell behind. That does happen periodically. Let's see what opponents got for us. That's Hans Eriksson coming back. I don't think I introduced our opponents, by the way. That is Hans Eriksson. Coming back to play. It does come and tap. We gain a life. Opponents could really use some life gain. Geode Golem, Metalworker over there. Bet those can do some things. Banana's turn. Got an upkeep trigger on the Remora. Super chat. Marcus Aurelius. I appreciate you. You are awesome. He says you are awesome. No. You are awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Gotta go make dinner. Yeah, gotta eat at some point. I should probably eat before the next stream. That'd be a really good idea. Aurelia deck is pretty good on MTGO. Yeah, we can take a look at it. spice up the old Aurelia list. I'll talk about Aurelia for a moment. I've been meaning to talk about this on a video at some point. We'll get there eventually, but you have a lot of choices now. There's like more than one good, really good thing to be doing with Aurelia, and just a lot of tough decision making to go on. Like, do you run Winota just in there randomly? Do you try to build around it a little bit? Do you not? That's definitely a question. Do you try to get do you run Jeska's Will to try to, have a really explosive early game but give up that card? Do you run a million Hate Bears? Do you run all of the equipment synergies? Do you just run good stuff? That's a Command the Dreadhorde. We're still 1 mana away though, so I guess we just cast our commander right here. Cast Liesa. Opponents are on very low life. It will be difficult to cast cards. Pass the turn. What up, Pro Gamer? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. How did I end up with 38 life verse 3? We had Kimball, Console of Allocation, in play for most of the game. And then this Kedis did some attacking, so everyone lost a lot of life while we were gaining a lot of life. And it was pretty fantastic. Pretty fantastic. This thing was pretty big before I wiped the board too. It was got up to I think it was 6 power, then maybe there's a 12 shot in there too. It was trying to come at us for easy lethal at one point, and yeah, those were all things. Those were all things. Austin, I can't see it. Send it to me in the Jordy's. Oh, there it is. Got it. Cool. Yeah, we good. We good. Cool. I will post that up as soon as we wrap up this game. I will be streaming webcam paper in about 20 minutes with Austin on his channel. So we'll be wrapping up there, but you guys can check me out a little bit more if you want. Check out that game as well. Oh, Sean just goes down to casting a spell. Yeah, that's fair. Sometimes you just want to go out on your own terms. But yeah, I'll be playing Jagatha Tap Creature Tribal tonight, a deck that I absolutely love. It's been so much fun. And I like my paper version of it because I don't have all of the expensive stuff. There's no Bloom Tender, there's no Mono Green Selvala. And those things are so good that if you have them, you run them. But I like not having them because it allows me to use other jankier things. I actually just went through a binder. I'm like, that creature taps, and it goes. And I don't get to do that a lot because a lot of what I do is Magic Online, which isn't that. It's okay, just think about the card I want and then put that card in the deck, as opposed to just digging through stuff that you already have and that sort of thing. Super chat. Ian Burns says, "What the hell? Magic the Gathering?" Yes, indeed. Magic the Gathering. Magic Online. Thank you for your donation. You bought the Boros Guild Kit on Amazon? Yeah, those are sweet. Someone just sent me the Boros Guild Kit Aurelia very recently. I hadn't had one, and I kind of wish I bought one way back when, because they basically doubled in price. But yeah, that's probably my favorite Aurelia art. I don't care for the original Aurelia that much. The Guild Kit one is so much better. The Guild Kit lands are really cool too. I have one foil Guild Kit Plains, which looks super sweet. Uh-oh, that's a Chaos Warp. I assume that's coming our way. Come on, land. I want a Chaos Warp into a land. Maybe a Mana Crypt or something. Double land would be even better. Thran Dynamo. One of the favorite things you've ever done in the game, Aurelia equipped with a Sunforger. Got a Fiery Emancipation in play. 1 tap, 2 people, 21 commander damage each, then fetch, Chance for Glory, repeat. Yeah, that will do it. That will do it. Opponent goes down to 1. Well, we hit an opposition agent. I guess that's a card. That is a card. I thought about doing a video of just my favorite Aurelia stories. I've got a lot of them. Probably do a top 5 or something, but just haven't time. Got to stay on top of all the new decks coming out. Oh, hey now. That's a Dracuseth. You know what can make us lose this game? A Dracuseth. Is opponent gonna win this game from 1 life? Is that a thing that's gonna happen? It doesn't get us this turn. Next turn, though, Dracuseth, real problem. Cream of the crop for opponent. 1 mana, we could Austere Command. That would save us from the Dracuseth. Kedis. I mean, if Kedis wants to play for 2nd place, they could just swing into Maru. Also, if they just hit us, like if they attack us and we don't block, that would take care of the Dracuseth problem. You got the guild kit because you watch my Aurelia deck tech and videos? I appreciate it. Thank you. You know what was interesting? So I was looking through like my budget decks that I've done over the years, which there aren't a lot of them. I've only done a few. Most of them are like Boros or Mardu. But I did the guild kit Aurelia budget deck. That was 2018. I had actually built a really good looking budget Aurelia for 2019, and I kind of kept it on the back burner as just like a rainy day kind of thing, and never filmed it, never released it in any capacity. So when I went back looking through my decks, I'm like, oh hey, I have apparently a really good budget Aurelia that's just been hanging out. And is that trample? Nope, just haste. Okay. And I'm like, oh well, I guess I've got, because I thought about doing Aurelia budget for this year, but I've been waiting for Commander Legends to release, and Commander Legends is like really impactful to Aurelia's 99. So I'm still kind of testing through a lot of stuff to see what I like, what I don't. For the most part, like budget equipment isn't really a thing that you want to be doing, or at least it wasn't prior to Commander Legends. I think it's possible with Commander Legends, at least a little bit more so than it was. You know, the good equipments are still expensive, which is unfortunate, but you know, if you want to do budget Aurelia in general, I would recommend not doing like a heavy equipment theme. Just, you know, some of the cheaper equipments are fine. Sword of Vengeance, totally cool. Luxodon Warhammer is nice and cheap. But, you know, any of the Swords of X and Y add up very quickly. So I recommend going on more of a creature-based strategy at that point. Just get some good aggressive like red and white creatures in there and do that kind of thing. But, oh, hey now. That is 6 commander in the air. We gonna die. Oh, opponent's gonna win. They've got it. They attack us, we lose the commander damage, and Maru dies to not having life. Well, I guess that's how it's gonna go. We got kind of stuck on lands. It's turn 8. We've only got 5 lands, so that was a large contributing factor to this loss. That is about to unfold. If you don't make your land drops, you lose games. That's how it goes. But while we, yep, here they come. While it comes in, I'm going to be streaming with Austin in about 10 minutes over on his YouTube channel. Not YouTube, Twitch, excuse me. And that link is now posted in the chat. So if you want to continue the party, we'll chit-chat a little bit more. I'll be in the chat for that game. And, yeah, you should head over there in about 10 minutes as we die to this incoming commander. Sword of the Animist for Aurelia? Yeah. Sword of the Animist is incredible in Aurelia, except they're like $12 now. Down we go. Which is, it's tough to do that on a budget. It's a great card, but man, $12 is a lot of money. Yeah, we can work out a time to play some Aurelia online. Just message me and we'll try to figure it out. My schedule is kind of all over the place usually, but anyway, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for the super chats, especially. Like I said, we're going to be streaming with Austin on his channel in about 10 minutes, so head over to twitch.tv, Commander99. I'll be playing some Jagatha Tap Creature Tribal. But otherwise, thank you for tuning in. If you want to help support me, you can check out my Patreon, patreon.com/CommanderReplay. If you want to see my random thoughts throughout the week, you can check me out on Twitter, twitter.com/CommanderReplay. Gonna have a new video tomorrow that's going to be Rexiel. The Rexiel revisit. It turned into like a very silly game. So be prepared for that. Yeah. How did he win? He killed us with commander damage and 21 commander, and then Maru just didn't have any life left. So that's how they got it. That's how they got it. Austin's Twitch is right here. Can you guys see it? Can you see the link? It should work if I do it right. I hope it works if I do it. Maybe I can do it from here. And I bet if I do it from here, it'll work. Oh, right, it's not over there. It's not on that screen. You guys got it? Cool. All right, sweet. I'm going to wrap everything up there. Thank you guys so much. I will be back in about 8 minutes. So I'll see you guys then. Have a good night.